Real winners never give up. This is the true story of a young woman who went through horrors beyond imagination. When you read what Maricel Apatan endured, you'll realize your own struggles are nothing compared to the fire she walked through. She never gave up, and today, she stands as a living inspiration to the world. It was September 25, 2000. 11-year-old Maricel lived in Zamboanga, Philippines. That morning, she went with her uncle to fetch water from a nearby spring. Along the way, 4 men appeared. They carried long knives and dark intentions. The most terrifying part, they weren't strangers, they were neighbors, men she knew by name. The men ordered her uncle to lie face down. Without mercy, they hacked at his neck and killed him on the spot. Maricel froze in terror, unable to scream. Then instinct kicked in, she ran. But the men chased her down. Desperate and crying, she begged in her native tongue. Kuya, wagpo, maawa po ko sa akin. Don't kill me. Please have mercy. But there was none. One man raised his knife and slashed her neck and back. Maricel fell to the ground, bleeding, and lost consciousness. When she woke, the men were still there, talking among themselves. She realized she had one chance, so she pretended to be dead. After a while, they left. The moment she was sure they were gone, she forced herself up and ran, stumbling, weak, but determined to live. Then she saw the horror. Her hands were almost severed, hanging only by thin strips of skin. The men had hacked her arms too. Blood streamed down her body, but she kept running. Sometimes she fainted, collapsing in the dirt, but each time she woke, she pushed herself to keep going. When she finally reached a spot near her home, she called out, "Mama." Her mother ran out, and the sight froze her in horror. Her daughter's arms mutilated, her neck split open, her body soaked in blood. Wrapping Maricel in a blanket, she carried her on her back and started walking toward help. Their home was deep in the countryside. The nearest road was 12 kilometers away, through rough, uneven ground. It took them 4 hours just to reach a highway where they could get a ride. By the time they arrived at the hospital, Maricel was barely alive. Doctors fought for 5 hours to save her. It took 25 stitches just to close the long wounds on her neck and back. She survived, but both her hands were gone forever. The next day, September 26th, was her 12th birthday. There was no cake, no candles, only life itself to celebrate. When her family returned home, they found everything destroyed. Their house had been burned down by the same men. They were poor, with nothing left, and now faced hospital bills of 50,000 pesos, about $1,000, an impossible amount. But God sent them help. Archbishop Antonio Ledesma, a distant relative, stepped in. He paid the hospital bills and fought to bring the attackers to justice. The 4 men were caught, tried, and sentenced to prison. Still, Maricel's journey was just beginning. She went to a school for children with disabilities, where she quickly became one of the brightest students. Teachers called her the most industrious, the most polite, and the best in computer skills. She didn't curse life or God, she learned to live differently. With her wrists and arms, she performed everyday tasks most people do with hands. In 2008, at just 19, she graduated with a degree in hotel and restaurant management, earning a gold medal in arts and crafts. By 2011, she had achieved the impossible, she became a professional chef. Yes, a chef without hands. She chops vegetables with her wrists, stirs pots with precision, and plates dishes beautifully. Today, Maricel lives at Regina Rosari, under the care of Sister Epi Brazil, OP. She cooks for others, shares her story, and inspires countless lives. Her house burned, her hands were taken, but her spirit remains unbreakable. Real winners never give up. Maricel Apatan didn't just survive, she triumphed. She turned her wounds into wings, and her pain into purpose. So, what's your excuse for giving up?